dig that out. Is my cousin going to do it in his house, or is he going to tear it down?
Meeting will come to order, please.
I guess he wants to raise it.
The notice requirements of the Open Public Meetings Act for this meeting have been satisfied. Would you, what are we doing? Would you please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? Attention, salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Would you please take a second and turn off electronic equipment as we begin, please? There being no items on the agenda for discussion, we'll go right to department head reports.
Can I do roll call?
You can.
Okay. Mayor Becker?
Here.
Commissioner Amadeo?
Here.
Commissioner Blumberg?
I am here.
Why don't you start?
The financial disclosure forms were emailed to everyone with their PIN number at the bottom. That is due April 30th, I believe. So if you would look at your email for that today,
Mine's done.
great. And that's all I have to report.
Okay. Chief?
Nothing really extra to report here today for the fire department. Everything's going well. Just continue to be very busy. We're over 100 calls over last year for the volume compared to 2017 and 2018. So just basically an influx of calls. On a positive note, the FMBA Local 41 was able to help out the Ross School with their homeless shelter care packages, and it was a considerable donation that they made with them. And they had just made a donation, and they're going to do a public appearance for that, but they made a donation to the Holy Trinity Parish of an AED unit in the chapel. So now both church buildings are protected with an AED from FMBA Local 41. So positive things from the fire department.
Okay. Thank you, Dan. Dawn?
Well, the administration office is obviously always busy, but this last couple of weeks specifically, we've been working on the upgrade, the new design for the website, and that's been going really well. So we're still trying to redesign, make it easier for residents to find information, make it easier for tourism to find information and things of that nature. So you all should have been sent today a copy of the dummy page for the initial homepage for the website. And other than that, on your regular schedule, you have a resolution to adopt your emergency temporary budget, which is not nearly as dire as it sounds. It's just your temporary budget for the first quarter is going to expire, and this gives you access to your next total of 50% of your budget funds, except for certain other items that you would have had to pay more for, your pension and things like that that are due to be paid in full. So that'll be up for the regular meeting. And that's it for me.
All right. Thank you, Dawn. Ed?
Hey, I'll just go over the projects that are currently under construction. The Beach Street, the street end storm sewer system is progressing nicely. They're currently at Kenyon. They started at Union Avenue, then went back to Vendome, and now continue to work their way up and they're doing a real good job and working well with the contractor on the beach. The tennis courts, as well as the basketball court, they're paved. As soon as the asphalt has cured for a 30-day period, they will come and put the rubber coating. The rubber tied, the check valve replacement, the contractor finished his work, the 3 that he was under contract, and then the independent valve, which was at Wilson, was actually installed yesterday by Trident Marine. So that project is complete. Lifeguard headquarters raising is underway. The pilings are in, the support beams are in, and they will continue working as soon as they stop being lightheaded from the height. The only other one, I think that, and yeah, that's really all that's operational right now. everything's moving along well. Just wish it would get warm so we can enjoy outside.
I have a question for him, if that's okay.
Mr. Blumberg has a question, absolutely, okay.
Could you turn the
I'm wondering where the dune builders are. Are they down in Longport? They're done in Margate, right?
Yes.
And they're down in Longport?
To be honest with you, I don't know if there's,
So are they coming back? Is there anything for them left to do in Margate as
Oh,
far
yeah,
as
there's-
dune building goes? What
Yes.
what else do they have left to do?
once the drainage system is in
Right,
for the first section, then they have to take some of the sand, they're gonna raise the beach elevation between the dune and the bulkheads.
right.
So they have to distribute all that sand that's stored down near Adams or, yeah, that has to come up, and they'll bring that up and get that segment operational. And they're continuing to run their header line along the back of the dune for the drainage until whatever date they had, I guess they're shutting down right before Memorial Day, whatever.
Right.
And then they'll be done for the summer, and
Okay.
they'll be back in the spring, the fall
Okay.
rather.
All right, good.
But there's gonna be a lot of sand that has to be moved. It's just, it has to work with the drainage.
Well, while we're on this subject, one of my, concerns is, they've got so much equipment on our beaches, can't they compact that or ask them to get some of that equipment off our beaches?
We can see, I haven't really talked to them about it. Find someplace for them, to consolidate.
Like Longport?
Yeah.
So just so we're clear, in the areas where they don't get the sand back before the summer, the temporary pumps are going to remain. They'll remain.
Yes.
So
Till the drainage system.
till the drainage is up and running. So the idea is that the temporary pumps will probably be in place throughout the summer.
Only, their goal is to have Vendome tied in and functioning within the next 2 weeks. And they've actually started Nassau, and they want to have that completed sometime by the middle of June and have that live. So those temporary stations where you see those orange structures,
Right.
the temporary pump system, will be gone. They're going to restore the beach in those areas. But in certain areas, there's an excess of sand that mounds in front or on the other side is going to be used to fill back the beach and fill over top of these sands, because they're going to raise the elevation throughout the whole city from Decatur to Fredericksburg. From the bulkhead to the land side of the dune will be at elevation 7.5, significantly higher than what it is now, probably 4 and 5 foot higher. So that when you walk down your steps in certain areas, depending on the elevation of the street, you're only going to be going down, you might be going up 5 steps to get over the bulkhead, you might only be coming down 4 to get to where the beach is to your crossover. With that said, through the summer, the last 3 outfalls, there will be no construction on it.
Right.
So the pumps from what I call, where I am, Iroquois Avenue, Iroquois, and I think there's one on Granville, and there's 2 on the other side, on the north side of the pier. They will all stay in position throughout the summer, and then when they come back September 10th to commence work, now they're saying they won't finish till March with the drainage system because of the 2-month delay through the summer season. And they'll be going once that becomes.
And I believe they're taking the temporary pipes that they had out, they had those temporary pipes with the check valves. I believe they're gonna be gone also. Just the pumps will be used, that's all.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Thank you.
You done? Roger?
Thank you, Mayor and Commissioners. Planning and zoning is very, very busy with trying to squeeze in inspections with the snow and the rain. It's not been easy. There's a couple ordinance revisions on for tonight, and I'll let Jimmy and Scott address that, and I'll chime in when necessary.
Thank you, Roger. Jim?
Dawn, is this your last meeting? We won't see you. Rich is back next week, right? Or are you going to stick around?
He is scheduled to be back on next month.
So this is your last meeting?
Yeah, I think so.
You did a great job. Great. Just want to thank you for helping us. All right,
Frank.
so we're doing the flood damage prevention ordinance. You'll see it's on the second page of the pamphlet you got. It's going to modify the map from the ABFE map, which was the biggest pain in the neck map to work with. It's very hard to get the data off it. This map almost mirrors that data. It's about the same height or more, as Roger said, conservative. Eventually, this is going to move us forward to probably a class 4 CRS community, which will be 30% discount on our flood insurance. Be a big kick for the savings for the Margate residents. I've heard rumors that the insurance is going to go up due to the changes in the policies. So any negative rated policies are going to see a severe increase. Negative rated policy is buildings with basements or enclosures that are below the structures that are below grade or don't have flood vents. They're seeing $4,000, $3,000 flood insurance per year, which is, to me, is just too much money. A lot of phone calls. Had about 10 phone calls this week for flood insurance questions, so we're seeing an influx in that. And we're trying to help the people out. They always ask for contractors. We can't give them any. We tell them to go see a qualified surveyor locally so they know what the rules are. And then hopefully the surveyor will have somebody that can help them do flood damage prevention corrections. Any questions to the ordinance?
Just one, Mayor. Jim, was this the work that Benny had done for us, our consultant?
No, he's doing a severe repetitive loss map, which means he's got to locate on our map all the problem properties that are in Margate. And there's some on Monroe Avenue, there's a bunch of townhouses down there that are really low. Every time it rains, they flood. So we're looking to get maybe some funding to mitigate that. But we have to do an analysis on that map to show where they are, but we can't pinpoint them. We have to go just a big net to catch them. So we're not singling them out. And that map should be done before Garrett Bama, who comes down sometime in May to do a review for our community from FEMA. And that's a guy who's going to knock us either keep us into a 5 or move us to a 4.
Who wrote this?
This is Roger.
This is a template from the DEP,
Right.
but we modify per town.
To
Right.
fit Margate.
Yes.
Perfect. Thanks for the good work.
So we'll see some minor changes to it, but other than that, it's going to be on the fly.
Anything else, Jim? Thank you, Jim. Frank?
We have Clean Ocean Action, April 21st, which is a Saturday from 8 in the morning to 12:30 p.m. We're going to do it at Granville Avenue as usual. We got all our playgrounds ready for the summer season. We're also putting a new walkway in at Tide Field for the spectators. We're putting down some pea gravel and Moby mats to keep the people out of the mud. We've been out with our water and sewer crew fixing, putting in some new water lines and sewer lines, and also making a couple repairs on the sewers. And we're keeping an eye on the storms that are coming in through this weekend. And we're going to see what happens. But we're prepared.
Good job,
That's it.
as always, Frank. Scott?
Well, just to echo what Roger and Jimmy said on this flood damage prevention. I appreciate the help we've had from Roger and Jimmy onto the wording of it. You realize that the freeboard is going to be 3 foot, and that will help us with our rating. And without a doubt, flood insurance premiums are going to continue to go up every year. And every time you read about a disaster of flooding in Texas or Florida or wherever, that's going to affect us. And the federal flood insurance program is heavily in the red and probably going to just get worse. So yeah, absolutely, you're going to see a lot of increase in these flood ratings. And I think in probably 5 to 10 years, most of the houses in Margate that are below required elevation, you literally will see $5,000, $6,000 flood insurance premiums, which is insane. I mean, that's besides real estate taxes, besides casualty insurance. So it's going to be a completely different look. So this ordinance pushes us along the road on that progress, on that process. And yeah, these houses are going to be a little bit higher, but I think really we don't have an alternative. So that's it. It took a lot of effort to get this to this point, and hopefully we will get the additional rating. Right? When's he come down? He's going to come down in April or May, but to send this off. So once we introduce this, if there's any additional tweaking, I did say to you, the flood prevention, I saw it as flood hazard in a couple documents. We're going to stick with flood prevention ordinance. So that's good. So there we are. We're moving ahead. One other quick point. We have to do an interlocal connection agreement for water with Longport. Now, for years, we've had an informal agreement with Longport. Never had a problem. They've always been a good neighbor. This is for resharing our water. But now apparently the DEP has required some kind of a written document. We have a draft form. Once I get that into a Word so that we can modify it to our needs, I'll send it off to whoever, Roger, Eddie. You guys take a look at it, and Frank will have to make sure that we've always had a great relationship though on the water connection. Never had a problem. Now DEP wants it in writing. Okay, we'll give it to them in writing. So you'll see that probably in the next meeting, I hope. And I think that's it, Mayor. That's all I can think of.
Thank you, Scott. Marty?
Nothing to report, Mike.
John?
Ed, Mayor, yes, I just wanted to, after Ed was done his report, it came to mind. Remember we had talked about when the weather changed, we were going to get the gas company to come back in and modify all these missed cutouts for the gas lines on our new streets. I think we're getting into that season. We should look at it. And what came to my mind, Ed, and I don't know if we can work it out, Frank's team has had a difficult winter this past winter with all the freeze-ups, and his team have cut into our new streets also. And as great a job as they do on the patching, the infrared system still does a better job. Can we work with whoever the contractor that comes into the city, and Frank can give us a list, and we can hit them all, and naturally we would be responsible to pay for those that are our responsibility.
I think the gas company has, I believe they've done a couple already with the Radiant.
They've done a couple, they have a lot more to do.
Yeah, but there's, and we did just issue another letter to them,
Okay.
essentially another punch list to them
Okay.
to get done.
When were they in town doing?
I've not seen them.
Have we seen the finished product? Have we
No,
inspected?
I keep finding more that they haven't done yet.
Okay, but they've done some?
I've not seen
They've
any.
done one or two,
All right.
but I'll get.
I think we have to stay on top, really before the city gets busy.
Yes.
Our summer season starts. Because you know what it's like in the summer, they're parked there, most of the cutouts are in the parked areas. And now's the time to get it done.
And also, on the other side, if anybody here sees some areas that have to be done, get that information to.
Yeah,
I noticed when I do the CO inspections, I pick those up and make note of that.
All right. Anything else, John?
Thank you, Mayor.
Okay, I have nothing today. At this point, we will open for public comment. You have 3 minutes. You can discuss or comment on anything that was discussed here at this meeting.
Sewell, 22 West Drive. Mayor, I hate to tax your powers of recollection, but I would like to remind you when your comments about equipment on the beach and the dunes, that but for your vacillation and procrastination way back when, had you sided with Maury to fight the dunes from the get-go, rather than, be the spoiler with Brenda Taube talking about the ecological benefits and the greenness of the dunes and the dune grass. All garbage, Mayor, all garbage. And now you're finding out a little too late that we're shackled with the Army Corps of Engineers. Long beyond our time here on Earth, they'll be there, and they'll be creating a terrible nuisance. A quick question for the city engineer. Ed?
Yes.
Yes, you mentioned that they were going to pull out those outflow pipes and rely only on the pumps. Now, is that really engineering 101, that you have a backup system, maybe? Maybe?
They feel,
Ah.
that they feel that they're not necessary at this
Oh,
point.
Ed, you know the history of the Army Corps of Engineers? Answer to the chair.
Yes.
Okay, Ed, you realize the billion-dollar boondoggles the Army Corps created in the Everglades and along the Mississippi River, and you put engineering credibility in what they say? Ed?
In this case, yes.
Oh, Ed, give me a break. You won't have a backup system? You're going to rely on pumps that rely on electricity, which will very well go out? I saw what happened during Sandy Storm when I walked along Ventnor streets. They were flooded with bay water that couldn't be pumped out. This is insane, Ed. And I would fight to keep those outflow pipes. Don't let them take them out. One-way outflow pipes are their backup system. Do you have a backup system on aeroplanes? You have to have a backup system on this boondoggle of the mayor's. It's the mayor's baby.
My baby,
It's your baby, Mayor.
take care of it.
You inseminated this project, and we're stuck with it.
You have 5 seconds. No, you're done. Good. All right. We put them in the bag. Any other public comment?
Paul Van der Rijn, 311 Dorchester, Egg Harbor Township. Commissioners,
Paul, can I interrupt you for a
Yes.
second? The terms of this meeting are
Right.
to discuss some items
About the
that were
beach.
discussed at this meeting.
yes.
Okay, so as long as you're,
Well, we're not talking about the condition of the beach
okay.
for the summer, which I am concerned about. I mean, in hearing from the reports, it seems as if the beach will not be 100% ready for my business. Is this true, or is this something?
The entire project will not be finished.
Right.
There will be no construction during the summer.
Okay, will I have access to the beaches entirely?
Oh, yeah,
Okay,
absolutely.
there won't be any closures of the beaches
Nope.
as a
Nope.
result?
Nope,
Okay,
not,
okay. All right, and also, and I can discuss this later, but I sent an email to the commissioners. Did everyone receive that?
It was a while ago, right?
2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Okay. You did receive that? Okay, we'll discuss that. Can I discuss that later?
Yes,
Thank you.
at 5
then
o'clock.
at 5 o'clock, well, the meeting immediately following. Okay, anyone else? Public comment? Last chance. Is there a motion to close public comment?
So moved.
Second.
Mayor Becker,
Yes.
Commissioner Amadeo,
Yes.
Commissioner Blumberg,
Yes.
Is there a motion to adjourn this meeting?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Mayor Becker,
Yes.
Commissioner Amadeo,
Yes.
Commissioner Blumberg.
Yes.
Okay, we'll take another brief recess, and we will begin our public meeting.